And look at that, no more ABS lights, no more check VSC lights. Hello everybody and welcome back to Marty Motoring. Today is the Carbecue, the first event of the car season, especially after coronavirus, that I am hosting with Freddie from Poor Man Mods. We got both cars, I have the IS350 and my dad's actually helping me bring down the 4Runner, so he's driving that behind me. Unfortunately, he's stuck behind a very slow BMW. But either way, we're headed to meet up with Freddie. I'm really excited to grill some burgers, hang out, have a good time, see what cars are there. RR Racing is coming out, so that's gonna be pretty cool to see, and just kind of see everybody again after the winter car season in Pennsylvania. There's not really many car meets in the winter, just because of the snow and ice and everything. But now that it is nice weather, it's beautiful, like 70 degrees, a little bit breezy. It's gonna be a perfect day by the lake. I'm pretty excited, but let's go meet up and have a good time. 4Runner looks pretty good in the rear view. I never realized how lifted the 4Runner looks in the rear view, coming from like a low, small car. Looks pretty good. So it started filling up pretty good. Got a very decent mix of cars.
Yeah.
What's up?
How are you?
Good. How's it going? How's it going, man? What's up? Tarmageddon Z01 showing up.
What's up, Martin? Marty Motoring.
Marty.
Martin Motoring.
So many names. So confusing.
Motor Martin.
Well, we got shut down at the original location because two park rangers said that we can't be here at the public park parking our cars in the parking lot, and they said they profiled us and said everybody had to leave with a modified car. So the Carbecue was really fun, thanks to everybody that came out. Unfortunately, we got kicked out of the first spot for really no reason. Friends hanging out in a public park, and they thought we were some kind of organization, and it was like, no, everybody's here from different things. Like, there's no one organization. And families and big gatherings of people were coming in and out for the lake, but somehow we got profiled and kicked out. But either way, we cruised to a second location that actually ended up being way better because we had a pavilion, we could grill, and we had way more parking for more cars. And it was a really great turnout, so thanks to everybody that came out for that really fun time. I'd like to throw another event in the future, so we'll see. And fast forward to about a week later, here I am with the Lexus IS350 with no dash lights at all. I finally figured out what to replace that would get rid of all the ABS codes. So if you saw my last video, I mentioned the ABS actuator that was replaced under warranty, and I had to pay some into it for like the diag and stuff like that. That was part of the problem, but the passenger side front ABS sensor was the other part of the problem, which I'd replaced that previously. So I started thinking, if I replace the sensor, I might just have the same issue. If I replace the whole bearing with a brand new sensor, maybe that'll fix it. And that's essentially what fixed it. So I got a whole piece from rockauto.com and a brand new ABS sensor that is all one piece and sealed. Take the old one off, put the new one in, and hook it all up. And I drove around about a mile and all the lights went off, and I was so happy. It's awesome to be able to have that fixed. So for my issue, if you have the same issue with your car, it could be your ABS actuator, which is a little pricey, but you can probably find one on eBay that's used. Or it's one of your wheel sensors, and you can have Toyota do a diag or use the TechStream software to figure out which one it is. And I would just honestly suggest replacing the whole wheel bearing if they're pretty old, because that was a lot easier just to swap that in. Instead of like reaching around the back and getting the ABS sensor in that tight space, it was kind of hard when I replaced just the sensor. It was actually easier to replace the whole wheel bearing, and now I know it's fresh and proper. And I'm so happy that all the codes are gone. Now, the only downside to having this worked on at a Toyota dealer, They seem to know what to do for the most part, but I'm gonna show you this clip here. They torqued my wheels on way too tight. The torque spec's usually about 80 to 90 foot-pounds, and they put these on crazy tight. Neither of my impacts get my lug nuts off, and that started to make me think this is probably going to cause some other problems like a warped rotor. When I took the passenger side rotor off to replace the wheel bearing, I didn't really think anything of it. You know, it seemed fine once I got the wheel off with the breaker bar. Had to do it all manually, and I pretty much had to stand on the breaker bar, me 250 pounds, like on that. I can't believe the impacts didn't get it, but my body weight did with a really long breaker bar. And then I start to drive it, and I kind of hear a noise, so I torque down the bolts again. They're all torqued down, the 4 bolts for the hub. So it's not the hub. The wheel bearing and the hub are not coming off. And the noise is actually the rotor just kind of, I think it's warped. I think the rotor's warped because of how tight they put the wheel on, and it's kind of just rubbing the brake pad as I'm going. Eventually that will wear off, it'll wear the brake pads, but I just can't live with that. I want it to be proper, so I'm gonna replace the 2 front rotors and then test that out, make sure everything works perfectly, and then finally, this will be listed for sale. And I have a few buyers interested already. I know so many people have emailed me. I want to get back to you all. This car will be for sale soon. I say it like every video. I know it's getting old. I think I'm definitely gonna miss it. I'm enjoying the last month with it. In other news, I got the house. I've been painting. I bought it. I haven't moved in yet. I'm just still like renovating a couple things, but once I move in, maybe I'll do like a house tour or something, or have all the cars in the driveway, something fun. I got offered another project that would be really fun, something super different for the channel. Life is good in summer 2020 amidst all the craziness and bad stuff in this year and time. It's the simple things that really make you happy. I'm happy the car's fixed. I'm happy there's no more ABS lights and the rotors are gonna be fixed, and I'm gonna be good to go. So that's about it for the updates. No more lights. Pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Really helps Marty Motoring out. Follow me on Instagram @Marty Motoring. And as always, keep those wheels turning.